Hey guys, welcome back to Programming Done Right. So today we're going to be creating is a Java application, banking application with Java. So it's going to be really cool, and we haven't done a Java tutorial in a while, so I thought we should just do a Java tutorial. So let's get right into it. The first thing you want to do is you want to create a new file. I'm just going to name it Neil Bank. Okay. Now what you want to do is you want to write public static void main string, args. And then you want to write curly braces. You want to have two curly braces on both ends. Okay. What is this? So before any Java program, we always want to write public static void main string, square brackets, and then args, and then we want to have a curly brace, two curly braces. So this is basically where we're going to write our program in. We have to write it in this designated space. We cannot write it outside of this because then we won't be able to do stuff like print statements and things like that. And if you're using classes and things like that, then you can, and then you're not supposed to use public static void main, but those are more advanced concepts. If you're a beginner, just don't worry about them. You want to have this in all of your programs so far. Okay, now we want to initialize a couple, just one variable, okay? So because we're going to be creating a banking application, we want to have a variable that stores all the money that we have. So whether we're depositing or withdrawing. So we just want to write Boolean money 0. Okay. Boolean money 0.0. Did I make a mistake? Okay, yeah. Sorry. Yeah, so I made a little bit of a mistake. So the first thing you want to do is you want to write double money equals 0. I don't know why I was saying Boolean. I got it confused. But basically what we're doing is, what a double is, it's just basically a, what it is it's a float variable, kind of. It just holds more and it's better. So it is a decimal point variable if you're not familiar with the lingo in programming. It's just a decimal, and it can be an integer too. But because we're working with money, we're going to be using decimal points and stuff like that. So that's why we want to use a double, okay? Now we want to ask them, now we want to welcome them and ask them what they want from us. So we can write, welcome to Neil Bank, right? And we want to put some, all right, I just like to put this, just makes it look nice. Probably doesn't, whatever, okay. And now we just want to ask them what they want from us, right? So we're gonna not welcome with Neil Bank. I just like to copy my print statements just because this is how you print stuff in Java. System.out.println, and after every line, we want to have a semicolon. This is very important. So it's pretty, that's the thing about Java that I like Python more about. Python, you just have to write print. In Java, you have to write this log system.out.println, so gets a little frustrating, so I like to copy and paste my print statements. But you might be wondering why we didn't put semicolons here. That's just because the syntax, if you're using an if statement, else statement, or anything with curly braces, you don't put the semicolons. But if it's inside any of these, or if they're just lines, then you must have a semicolon. Okay. Now we want to ask them, would you like to, or press 1 to deposit, 2 to withdraw, and or any other number to quit, okay? And now we have to put a scanner, okay? What this is a way to get user input. So before we do that, we should initialize our variable scanner. So we want to write scanner input. This is the variable we're going to store scanner in, which is basically how we collect user input. Scanner input equals scanner, and then we want to write system.in, and then of course our semicolon. And then you might notice we have red squiggly errors here. That's because we have to write something. Oh, I misspelled this first. Scanner, right? And that's because we have to write here import java.util.scanner. Okay? You might be wondering why we're doing this, and I spelled it wrong, I think. Oh, yeah, we have to write new scanner. Sorry. Okay, yeah. So before every time, we want to first write import java.util.scanner. You don't need to install this in any sense. You just have to write scanner, and this comes to Java, so that's how we use scanner. So scanner input equals new scanner system.in. Now this can be any variable, but you want it to be input normally, just because that's what most programmers use. Okay. And the reason we're naming this variable is very important. This is how we're going to get user input. So we're going to write choice equals, integer, right? We want it to be an integer, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or -1, 2, whatever, right? So we want it to be an integer. We want to name the variable choice. That's the thing about Java. You want to always put what the data type is before. You don't want to put like bool. You want to put bool. You don't want to put like just choice. You want to put the data type or whatever it's, and there's a lot of data types. There's even like an email data type, but the main ones are double, which is which is decimals, integer, which is like counting numbers. There's Boolean, which is true or false. There's and there's a bunch more. There's string, which is just this is a string, which is kind of like text and stuff. And yeah, there's a lot more, but those are some basic ones. Okay, so int choice equals. Now we're gonna write input. So now if you name this to something else like scan or scn, you write scn. But I like input. So dot input equals input dot next, and now you want to write int. Okay, so what this is, you always want to write the data structure after the next. So if it was a boolean, I'd write next boolean, or if it was a double, I'd write next double, right? But this is an integer, so we want next int. Okay, now that we've done that, we want a couple of if statements. So if choice equals 1, we're gonna do, and we want 2 curly braces, enter. Okay, so we're gonna put the code. So if choice is 1, we're gonna put some code inside here, okay? Now, if that's not true, else, but if this isn't true, but if choice equals 2, so like if choice doesn't equal 1, but choice equals 2, then do this. But if none of the options are true, then we're gonna quit, right? Because press any other number to quit. So the first thing we want to do is we want to say, what if they want to deposit money? So the first thing we want to ask them is how much money they want to deposit. How much money would you like to deposit? Okay. And by the way, if you don't have like an editor to use Java, just use Replit.com. It's really easy and it requires no download. Of course, this isn't like sponsored or anything. I wish it was sponsored, but yeah, just use Replit.com. So how much money would you like to deposit? And now we're going to use another scanner, except there's a difference now. We're not going to be using an integer because we're going to be using a double, which is a decimal number. Because what if I want to deposit $1.01? So now I can do $1.1. Okay, that's the easier version. So double deposit equals input dot next double. Okay, and we want to, what is it, semicolon, right? So that's it. And now we have this variable. So we want to write money equals money, right? Minus deposit, okay? So we're making money a new variable. Okay, and then once we're done, and actually you could just write money minus equals minus deposit or something like that. And that's what I would normally do is just for the sake of this tutorial and simplicity, we're just gonna keep it like this. Okay, and then once that's done, we want to have another if statement. We want to let them know if their account is if they have a negative number in their account. So money, if money is less than 0, right? Because then that means it's a negative number. We can tell them print now we can write your account is under 0 or your account has a negative balance of, then we want to write plus money. Okay, we're gonna write how much money it is, and then if that's not true or else, we can just write println you have money dollars in your account. And actually, now that I think of that, we have to write dollars. Okay. Done. Okay. Yeah, this should be good to go. Now we just want to write else if choice equals 2. Okay. And this curly braces, we want to execute that code. So we just want to write, yeah, we can literally just copy and paste all this code, right? And we can just kind of tinker with it. And some people are going to tell you copy and pasting is wrong or whatever. Honestly, it's not. It's just easier. It's not just easier. It's not lazy. It's better, to be honest. It saves you time, and it's just better. How much money would you like to withdraw? We want to just change a couple things now. Withdraw, new variable, right? Minus withdraw, okay? And I just realized with deposit, I accidentally did minus. It's plus because we want to deposit some money. Sorry about that. So we want to write money equals money plus and money equals money minus. And we can literally leave this the same, okay? Now else we can write, so now, what if we want to, so for else, right now we're just going to write system.out.println. Just going to write a space for now, but eventually what we're going to do is we're going to make this code keep repeating over and over and over, and then this is going to be how we break out of it. But for now, let's test out this code, okay? Okay, I want to press 1 to deposit $1,000. Okay, yeah, and that works. It's pretty good. And if you try anything else, it's gonna work. There's one teeny problem though. What if I want to withdraw now, or what if I want to deposit more? It should keep going until I want it to stop going. So that's where something called a while loop comes in. We can write while, and now we have to put some condition. So while something is true, this loop is gonna keep going. Now we could write true and it'll keep going, but then we won't be able to exit out of it. What we can just gets a little more advanced, and we just want to avoid that. So we can write int x equals 0. Okay. Now we can write if while x equals 0, and then boom, that's literally it. Except now we want to put all this code that we wrote, all of it. Okay. Sorry. So we want to copy all of this code that we wrote. Okay. And we want to press Control X. Okay, which is Control C, or we just want to copy all that code and we want to put it there. And then we want to delete it from where it originally was. Okay. And now we want to indent all of this just because it's good coding practice. We don't have to, but it's just good coding practice, and I think that we should continue with good coding practice and tab. Okay. Now this is all indented, it's all good. So now, instead of just doing nothing, we can write x plus plus, which means x plus equals 1, okay? That's how we write x plus equals 1. You could write x equals x plus 1, but x plus plus is just an easier way to do it. You can even write x minus minus or x equals 1000, whatever is not 0, and it'll just keep, and then it'll stop out of the while loop. And yeah, and actually one thing we might want to do is we might want to write exiting. And we want to write exiting. Okay? And boom. Now once we run this, this should work. Okay, let's try it out. Press 1 to deposit. Let's deposit 100 bucks. Okay, now I want to withdraw it. Let's withdraw 50 bucks. $50 in your account, okay? Now let's check what happens if I deposit too much, if I withdraw too much. Negative balance of minus $950. Good. And now, actually, let's add some more. Wow, I had a lot of money. And I have good amount, and you're going to see this isn't scientific notation. If you don't know what that is, that's just a math practice. And any other number to quit. So I'm just going to press 9, exiting. It works. So that's it. You built yourself a pretty neat banking application with the power of Java. And Java is an amazing programming language. And if you guys want me to release more Java videos, please leave them in the comments down below. Comments also help me. So yeah, they're a good thing all around. You can, and I will respond if you check any comments that like in my videos. I've always responded. So if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I can respond. So that's it for this, for today. Bye. Thank you guys.